closer than they appear, then he's got to be a little bit concerned here because Ortiz is right on his heels. Boy, he got a little bit loose. Ortiz was not able to take advantage, but right on the heels. Green flag is out. We're back to racing for the final 5 minutes. Ortiz going to try to work to the inside. Brian Ortiz going to try to take back over the lead.
Again, Stout and Rieger are right there. They're the cars running behind them, the 28 and the 01. It looks like Ortiz gets to turn number 1 first. The 87 of Roland washes up high, and Jake, he may lose a couple of spots unless he can get back up through the gearbox.
But see, again, the bottom line is to exactly that point, Mark. You're right. He didn't lose the additional spots, but he wasn't able to get back down to the bottom of the racetrack fast enough. Ortiz was able to hold him off. That is a critical passing area, and it's the same area where Ortiz yesterday saw on the restart that he wasn't able to make a move. He waited until late in the race. Now things have changed a little bit. Will Roland be able to make that move in the final turn? That's what remains to be seen here in this last few minutes. 5
minutes remaining in this race, Jake. Actually, we're under the 5-minute mark now, and nothing has been decided. As a matter of fact, he is laying all over the bumper of that car, Brian Ortiz, as they snake their way around around that left-hander.
Boy, you got to assume that Ortiz is feeling every inch of that now. Ooh, you saw there, great move as Roland went to the inside, but he knew all of a sudden he had to get off the throttle at the last second, or else perhaps he was going to risk letting Stout get past him. He tucked back in. He's going to have to wait another opportunity here to get past Ortiz.
Luke Oxner is another one who's caught up with that pack of cars, and also Todd Lamb is there. A little bit farther behind them, John Dean II and Joey Bickers now trying to get into the act. So now we have about 7 cars that are pretty much nose to tail, but they fan out as they approach the turn.
Nico Rager's going to give up a track position. That's Todd Lamb that you talked about. Put him into the 4th spot. Battle up front, Ortiz with Roland right there, and Robert Stout. If either one of those two has a problem, Stout is right there ready to pounce. The problem right now is for Ortiz. He just gave up the lead once again. This time it's Roland who gets past.
He's going to try to lean on him a little bit, get that spot back by maybe loosening up the rear end of that race car some. Robert Stout is having to drive defensively in that 28 car. The 77 of Oxner is right there, along with Todd Lamb. Again, about 6 or 7 cars playing in that front lead pack.
Nice job there with Celine Roland as he worked his way, kind of that high-low combo, if you will, of making sure that he was able to get back to the middle of the racetrack before Ortiz could close any sort of a move. Again, Roland gets just a little bit loose. This is another opportunity where Ortiz might be able to try to swing wide coming off one of the turns or tuck in down below, but it looks like Roland is pretty good coming off those corners.
By the way, did we mention a pre-race penalty moved him to the rear of the field? I mean, that's how fast that race car is today.
And how fast that driver's been in terms of finding his way using every inch of the racetrack. We work our way now in last 2.5 minutes of this race, and it's going to be a long 2.5 minutes for Celine Roland.
Lamb and Rager are right there. Now all of a sudden Robert Stout says, yeah, enough's enough. I want in this, and he shoves Ortiz to the high side. He's going to battle it out for that 2nd spot. Don't know that he's going to be able to grab it just yet. More contact between those two in a heated battle for 2nd, which allows Roland to pull out a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say that gave Roland a little bit of breathing room, didn't it? Ortiz probably lucky he didn't lose the rear of that race car there, and that allowed Roland to give himself about 1/3 of a second. Right now is the lead, and that seemingly, Mark, was all made up there on that last lap.
Stout, with all of his experience, may have decided, look, if I'm going to make a move for the lead and have a chance, I'm going to have to do it right here, understanding that he still had the ability to settle for a top 3. So maybe he's going to settle in now and settle for 3rd place as Ortiz starts to pull away a little bit. But no question that dust-up between those two allowed Celine Roland to pull away.
So does Roland have enough to hold off Ortiz at this point, or is Ortiz still trying to just wait until the last second to make that move? This is one of those opportunities, but Roland, you see this time, does not go as wide as we see Nico Rager doing in the back of the pack. So too, that is the 34 machine that you saw swinging wide. That's Joey Bickers. Roland keeps it in the middle of the racetrack. That prohibits Ortiz from being able to make a move.
Ortiz went very deep into that corner before braking and trying to hold on to the momentum just as long as he could. Now he's going to try to make a side-by-side move as the bottom of the racetrack opens up. Will they make contact going into this corner? They do, in fact. The 87 of Roland is shoved wide. We'll see if Ortiz can maintain the momentum with the crisscross move. They'll stay side by side. He'll climb climb on the binders first, which allows Roland to pull away a little bit.
This might be the battle right here for the win, because Roland or Ortiz wanted to make a move. It might have been right there. Excellent job by Roland to hold him off. Is he going to be able to do it now for just one more minute?
And again, Stout is tucked right in behind them saying, have at it, boys, hoping to be the beneficiary of contact in which they both might take one another out.
What an outstanding job here for that rookie in Celine Roland, working his way to the back, working his way from the back up to the front, and now a savvy veteran in these machines, Brian Ortiz, he's got to hold off.
He is flinging that thing around the racetrack with less than a minute to go. Does Brian Ortiz have anything left in an attempt to sweep this weekend? They try to go side by side, but Roland moves over, shoves him to the bottom of the racetrack. They both go very wide. Checkered flag is out, and it looks like the rookie is going to go to victory lane here at COTA. What a spirited drive by Roland, penalized in the pre-race, having to move to the rear of the field, charges all the way through and is going to go to victory lane.
And you want to talk about side-by-side finish. That's about as close to one as you're going to get. That 6 sideways racing machine, Celine Roland, who yesterday you can bet he probably has been thinking about that for nearly 24 hours, just thinking, what exactly can I do over the next 18 hours? Technically, it would have been